UCC, in a nutshell, you can kind of see all the things that kind of apply to this illustration to UCC. I hear some of you've been down to us, which is fantastic. So you have our main quad here. All things kind of Cork, the Shandon Bells, the bus routes you'd be on, etc., etc. So a little bit about me, guys, very quickly, is that I would have gone to actually MTU to study graphic design, and I would have worked as a graphic designer for many years. And then I would have gone on and I would have studied postgrad in UCC after that. So I would have gone on to do women's studies as my master's. So again, I've been working in UCC for 6 years, but the moral of my story is that I've gone from a very prescribed kind of career with graphic design to working in UCC to doing women's studies because I love activism. So your undergrad going into university or college or third level in any way is your first step on a big adventure of life, and you're going to have probably quite varied careers because that's the kind of the place, the world that we live in now. So I want to get started on showing you a little bit about UCC and why UCC might be for you. So in terms of employability, guys, we're the top third level university in terms of getting you a job. So over 90% of our students will come out of college either quickly getting a job or going back into further education. So going on to do a master's or even going to that PhD level. So it's something to keep in mind. We are the #1 campus in terms of student experience, #1 law school in Ireland, #1 nursing school in Ireland. So it's something to keep in mind if that's your jam, okay? Again, we're in the 1.1% of universities worldwide. We're actually in the 1%. We got some rankings yesterday. So you'd be coming down to a really prolific university, a place that really can help you to grow and harness your independent creative thinking here, okay? We're hugely proud of our civic and community engagement. So we encourage our students and staff to get involved with the community, whether it be through our societies or getting involved with things like Goshka. You might have it in your school already. You can continue it on in UCC. In terms of sustainability and the SDG goals, which you're probably aware of from your different classes in school, we have a huge emphasis on our SDGs, making the world a better place, really and truly, okay? 8th in the world for sustainability, like I was saying. We're the first university in the world to ever get a green flag, so we're hugely proud of that. And we're just getting one now next week. So we have some students to help us raise that flag and kind of send on that message that we are still that green flag university. Research-led education, guys. When you come to UCC, you will be researchers. But in terms of our research and kind of a higher level, we get a lot of funding from different institutions around the world to research very important topics and come up with world-renowned solutions. So you'll be kind of joining that community, okay? So UCC in a nutshell, guys, this is kind of what it looks like. So we've over 24,000 students. That's now 25,000. And we have over 5,000 students from all over the world. To me, when I went to university, the spice of life was meeting people that weren't from where you were from, whether it's from a different county or different country, and you kind of get to know them and you know that you're very similar, you can work together, but you also celebrate your differences. And we want you to do that in UCC. We have over 100 societies, guys. So we have everything from the manga society to charity societies to the Simpson societies to stand-up comedy. There's something there for everybody when you come to UCC. And again, we have a really broad range of clubs. So we have our ordinary things like GA and rugby, but we also have things like trampolining or fencing. Like there's a real wide variety of clubs in UCC as well, okay? So in terms of what makes UCC different, we have that proud tradition of independent and creative thinking, and we want you to be that independent and creative thinker when you come to UCC. It's a huge difference between secondary school, where things are quite prescribed in the way you learn, whereas you're given the kind of autonomy to kind of come up with your own theories and back it up with research that's already been undertaken. And we have a unique graduate attributes program there to help you do that. So it's dedicated to your student transitions, which it says there, as you come in, as you come through university, and as you get ready to go out into the workplace. So it's a program I worked in myself for a few years, and I think it's fantastic. So it's helping you with your soft skills, things like your compassion, respect, communication skills. So what sets you apart? When you go out into the workplace, you all could have the same grade, the same kind of degree, but your communication skills, your teamwork, your respect, your integrity for yourself is hugely important. And employers really see this when UCC students go out looking for jobs, okay? So lastly there we have George Boole. So George Boole is hugely important. Without him, I wouldn't be on the call to you now. So he's the first professor of maths in UCC, and he would have come up with this Boolean algebra theory that forms the basis of all the computers that we use now. So without him, we might not be chatting this morning, okay? So he's a great person to have associated with the university. So a lot of you might have been down to Cork, but this is kind of an aerial view of our campus in a nutshell. So you'll see here, you could have your central campus, and things are dotted all over the place here. So number 9 is our medicine and health building. Number 1 here is business. Law here is number 8. So they're dotted everywhere, but everything is about a 15-minute walk, okay, with the exception of the CUH here, which if you go into the College of Medicine and Health in UCC, you might be doing a lot of your clinical placement out here, but it's only a short bus ride, okay? Our campus, guys, so just a little history. It was founded as Queen's College in 1845. And there's 42 acres of wooded ground, so it's a beautiful campus. I would say come down to us. We have our open day on the 12th of October this year. Your 5th years, why not come down for the day, make a day of it, and check out the campus, because it really is quite beautiful. So a very handy one for you guys as well, if you can't make it down, is our 360 VR experience. So what we did during COVID, as there was nobody really around the campus, is we made these 360 VR videos. They're now on YouTube. You can check them out. So it would have focus on every course and every building in UCC and every school that hosts every course. So you can check out the facilities in UCC and learn about the courses along the way. It's really, really nice, really handy. There's a QR code there. I'll send you on these slides afterwards, and you can have a look at what we have to offer in UCC for you. So in terms of our Green Campus, guys, I mentioned that it's super important to us here at UCC. We have our Green Campus podcast. If you're into kind of biodiversity, into sustainability, all of those things, it'd be a great podcast for you. So you can check it out there on Spotify. So a little snapshot of the different kind of learning and teaching areas and rooms in UCC and buildings. So we've got our amazing student hub. It's been built with a couple of years. So it's literally the students' building. And there's amazing facilities like our project rooms there. You've your hub atrium where you can hang out, grab a cuppa. Then there's other rooms where you can, there's study areas, there's study pods there in UCC there. You can see that. There's a VR lounge in our Boole library. There's a creative zone then in the library as well. And we've got our own radio station and podcast studios. So you've got lots of things to kind of take advantage of, and you can use them all free of charge, okay? And you can get involved. Finally, there we have our Flame Lab. So it's our Department of Anatomy and Neuroscience. It's state of the art. If you're doing something like medicine or nursing, you're going to be in here, okay? This is something we're all hugely proud of in UCC. So we've come up with our Proud Ally Network for students in UCC. It's something that actually existed for staff for many years, but we didn't have a kind of a student outlet. We had societies, but we wanted to kind of engage with students to come up with a way of helping people be proud allies of the LGBTQ plus community in every way possible. There's a QR code there. It's actually open to the public as well. So it gives you kind of resources on why you need to be an ally, how you can be an ally. There'll be kind of toolkits There'll be email signatures, backgrounds like you're seeing now, and training opportunities. So it's a really kind of tangible way of becoming that proud ally, because we want you all as UCC students to be that proud ally, especially in a world where things are kind of can be quite negative towards that particular community. Okay, so we're looking at our newest recruits at UCC. So we've got canine companions at UCC, so we have 10 of them there. They're absolutely fabulous. I'd say you all kind of know the power of a dog and how they can relax you and make you a little bit happier. So they're therapy dogs, pretty much, right? So they live with our staff that you can see here, and they hang out with them on campus. They go to different events. So you'll see them all around the campus. At the minute, they're in the library helping students with the study stress. So they're just a hugely beneficial part of UCC life. I want to point out, hopefully you can see her. So Noreen Didi here is a very important person for you if you come to UCC in your first year. You'll meet her at orientation. She's your first year coordinator. So what Noreen's job is she takes care of you if anything isn't going great. So you feel like you have picked a course that might not be right for you. She'll help you figure out whether you can transfer into another course, maybe come up with a plan to help you with your academic work. Like, she is an amazing person, and she's there for first years. And you can set up an appointment and you can meet Noreen there with her dog Remy. Okay, so something to keep in your head for next year if you come to us. So in UCC, we have 4 colleges. So we have in the purple here, we have the College of Arts, Celtic Studies and Social Science. In the red here, we have the College of Business and Law. In the green, it's all things science. So it's the College of Science, Engineering and Food Science. And then in the light blue there, you have the College of Medicine and Health. So we'll go through the courses kind of in a nutshell. And I will show you why a course page, in my opinion, is kind of your one-stop shop. And I'll give you a couple of other kind of resources that might help you to figure out if kind of UCC is right for you. Okay. Let's carry on. So in terms of our arts, humanities, and Celtic studies, we have a lot of different courses here. So I'm not sure exactly what you're all interested in, but there's a nice variety of arts and humanities courses here. So you have your general arts, guys, which you're probably aware of, is that you will pick 4 subjects in your first year, and from a very wide range of subjects. In your second year, then you whittle them down to 2, and you'll have your degree in something, for example, English and history, for example. You can carry on, and it's over 3 years, guys. It's really, really quick, and you can carry on with further education, go on to do a master's in some area, or you can go on to do something like secondary school teaching. It's something to keep in mind, guys, as well. We have a master's in education for primary school teaching coming up in the next couple of years. So it's something that you could consider doing through our arts program as well. Something to keep in mind, and it's quite exciting as well. Then you have things there like social science, guys. You're going out helping in the community in different areas. Then you have arts, music there, which you would be doing arts, and you'd be doing a couple of more subjects and whittling it down again. Something to keep in mind with arts, music, guys, with an entry requirement would be for you to do an audition. So that's important for you guys next year to apply for something like arts, music very early, because you will be asked to do an audition in March, April time, as along with your points, okay? Then you have film and screen media there, then you have Arts International. So the difference between arts and Arts International is it's 4 years pretty much, and with that extra year, you'll be going abroad to study. So you will be going to a university that's associated with the subjects that you've chosen. So if you do Italian, for instance, you will be going on, you could go on to study in Rome in their university there. It's just, the sky is the limit with arts. It's one of my favorite courses because it gives you the opportunity to explore subjects you're good at, but subjects you may have never done before, okay? And then we're going on to things like English, world languages there, if you're brilliant at languages, it's the course for you. You've early years and childhood studies. You have theatre and performative practices. Again, like the music side of arts, you will be asked to do an audition in that kind of March, April time before of your leaving cert year. So keep that in your head. Then we have theatre and performative practices there, and we have a BA in criminology, hugely popular. And while we're kind of going, I want to show you why looking at a course page, there's course pages for every single course. So you'll see here that there's codes for every course in UCC. So they're a way of identifying the course through CAO and for you to identify it itself and for us to identify it in UCC. So I always use criminology as an example of why to look at a course page, because it's usually important when you're researching whether a course is actually going to be right for you and whether you'll actually enjoy your 3, 4, 5 years in UCC. So when you're looking at a course page, guys, you can always throw in the code into Google. CK113 is a particularly good, is the code for criminology. You'll see up here, you've got the statistics or all of the kind of essential information, whether it's 3 or 4 years. So with something like criminology, much like Arts International, you can do it over 3 or 4 years, depending on whether you want to go away and study abroad for a year. So the teaching mode full-time, the qualification is a BA, so it's a Bachelor of Arts. It's a level 8. You can have a look at your fees there. The points for last year were 431. So if you hit that mark, you got offered a place. And then there's a points range. So there's people who hit the 431 and got up to the 600 who also got offered a place, okay? Something to keep in mind. So here you have a course outline, so it tells you a bit about the course. Then you have the modules, guys. I can't stress how important it is to have a look at the modules that you'll be studying, whether you like the way that they're taught, or the way you'll be assessed, whether it's through continuous assessment or examination. It's just something to really keep in mind. Let's have a look there. So you can look up every single module. They're all linked within the course page itself. And you can see how many hours you'll be doing, when it will be taught. It'll be taught in semester 1. And the number of students, the module goal, the content for the module, the learning outcomes, how you'll be assessed, penalties, all of those things, and supplemental examination and assessment down there. So each course, do have a look at each subject within the course. Okay, I'm just going to go back to this for a second. So then you have the course practicalities, and this is a really handy tool for every prospective student to have a look at things. So here we have our academic program catalogue. So this is a really handy one, which it gives you a snapshot of all the years. So what the course is, the international pathway of that, first year, second year, third year, and the program requirements, okay? So you go on, you have a look at the program requirements. Again, the modules sit here, and this will be available for every course in UCC. And then you look at the program outcomes. On successful completion of the course, students should have critical analysis in varying causes and functions of crime in society, etc., etc. Okay, want to go back to the actual course page for a second, so you can see who teaches on the course, some testimonials from the course, your placement opportunities or your study abroad opportunities, and every course will give you an outlook of what the future holds for your career, okay? So with something like criminology, you can get into policing, prisons, probation, social work, social administration, etc. So it'll give you a good idea of, okay, I get this degree, what would I do with it afterwards? And then you have your entry requirements, which are hugely important. So you have to make sure with the courses in UCC that you're actually hitting the course requirements, okay? And I have a handy one for you for that. I'll send you on the links to have a look. So I want to have a look at this, guys. So this is our prospectus for the year. It's literally 4 pages. It's not this big book anymore. So I want to have a quick look at why this is important. And I can send you the link. I can send you up paper copies of this if you'd rather. Can you see this, Lorna? Just hoping that you can kind of see it properly. Well, anyway, we'll carry on. Zoom in a small bit. Okay. Right, so each course, guys, we will see that there's a little overview or snapshot of what it is. So in UCC, you'll see that there's the course code that we went through. We'll use arts as an example here. The title, the qualification you'll get, the overall number of places. So that's really handy to look at in terms of points, guys, because if you have a look at down the list here, arts, an arts degree, there's 600 places in UCC. And you go down the line to something like youth and community work there, and you'll see there's 30 places, okay? So arts is always going to be our biggest course because it's our most varied course. There's different subjects, etc. And it'll do, like in terms of the points, in terms of supply and demand, it will determine whether the points go up, the points go down, okay? There'll be allocated places for mature students, so people over 23. There'll be allocated places for people who do further education. So that's people who go on and study in a kind of a community college setting and do a course maybe to gain them entry into certain courses. So there's a lot of different places there in UCC for the different courses. So even if you don't get the points in your leaving cert, there's always an entry point in, okay? So there's always a way of getting what you want, pretty much, is the lesson. So with your minimum requirements there, guys, you have your other language. So you need your third language to do something like arts. You need your O6 H7 for that. Additional requirements, your grand. We were talking about arts music there. We have restricted entry. So we have an international pathway in arts because it's 3 years. You wouldn't have the choice to do that really. And then work placement, it's optional. C is compulsory, O is optional. So the duration of the course is 3 years. And then the points rate. So if you hit the 300 mark last year in your leaving cert, you would have been offered a place. And then there's people who are getting the top marks who will be offered one of those places as well, okay? And you have your CAO code. So it's very handy to look at even the minimum requirements. So I'm just going to go to something like, let's say we look at medicine, for instance. So you kind of have to make sure that on the get-go, you're in 5th year now, you have your subjects. Are you hitting the marks with, let's say, medicine, if you really wanted to do something like that? So with medicine here, you can see you need your H4 in chemistry. So you need chemistry, it's essential. And you need your H4 in physics or biology. So you need 2 sciences, one has to be chemistry. It's something to keep in your head, okay? And down the line as well, you'll see there's different requirements for different things. Like with engineering, you need your lab subject, and you need your H4 in maths. Just something to keep in your head when you're picking courses now for next year. Right, let's get back to the presentation. I know I've kind of gone off, but I think it's really handy for you to know what to look for, whether you're hitting the requirements for things. It's just handy. Okay. So we'd stop there at criminology. So we have a youth and community work course now that's open to school leavers, which was only applicable to people who were over 21. So you can do your Bachelor of Social Science in that. We have social work there. It's applicable to mature students. Then we have our BA in Digital Humanities and Information Technology, which is a really interesting course. It's quite creative and quite techy. Then you have Applied Psychology, hugely popular, always popular each year. We have a great infrastructure, great lecturers for that. It's only 3 years. I always say to students that Applied Psychology in UCC is a first step on your psychology career. You'll have to study kind of further on to kind of specialize in your area, whether it's clinical or you go into something like art therapy or music therapy. It's kind of the beginning of your psychology road. Then we have a cool course that's pretty new as well, which is Psychology and Computing. So it's the relationship between technology, like online technology, and how it helps us as humans, and you can explore that. Then we have government and political science there. So it's a great course if you're into the political side of things, because you get a brilliant opportunity to do work placement either in Ireland, somewhere like the Dáil, or the EU, or go off to Washington. So you have brilliant opportunities with that course. We've anthropology there, guys, which is the study of people, you and I. And then we've got things like we've got the 2 teaching programs there. So you have Education Gaeilge. So Education Gaeilge is your Irish teaching course. It's great because you can do it in 4 years instead of going through something like arts and doing it in 5 years. It'll save you some money, it'll save you some time. So if you're interested in that, so you'd be teaching Irish as a given, and you'd be doing you can see various subjects that you're able to teach on that guide, which I'll send you. So they to the College of Business and Law here. So it's always hugely popular, all of these courses. And so it's really interesting. So you've got your BCom Commerce. Commerce, guys, is a great course if you want to get a taste of every little bit of what the business world is like. So you'll be doing things like marketing or HR, a little bit of the kind of the below subjects like accounting or business information systems. So it's a really, really, really varied degree, very popular, and has some amazing opportunities for work placement as well. So I know a lot of students have gone out in their work placement within commerce, and lots of those business and law or business courses, and they've worked with the likes of, let's say, Johnson & Johnson or Deloitte or Jameson or Dell, and have gotten graduate program jobs. So after they finish their degree, they get a job straight away. They're guaranteed it because they've done a great job in their workplace, and they're employable from the get-go, which is amazing. Again, something like accounting is very similar, but more specialized. And we have business information systems there as well, guys. So you're mixing the traditional business with kind of online business and how that works in today's world. Finance, we're looking at things like the stock market, bonds, all of those things. Applied economics, you're looking at how business works locally, globally, and nationally. So you're looking at how that works, why it goes up and down, how you can improve different economies throughout the world. Then there's a cool kind of dual degree there. So you have food, marketing, and entrepreneurship, which is a great degree in terms of the business side of things, but also the marketing side of things introduces you to the scientific side of food marketing, like food science, okay? Then you have your international development. It's a course that is really important in terms of getting students to go out to countries that might be less well off than ours, and helping them to kind of develop in ways that they've never thought of before, in sustainable ways. A lot of it would be in countries that are going through war or famine. You'd be working with the UN, that kind of thing. There's loads of opportunities in terms of work placement there, and you'll really be the project manager of these projects, okay? So then you have international business with languages. Again, hugely popular in terms of that dual degree. You're mixing the business with languages. So there's options to do like French, Irish, Spanish, you name it, they're there. Then we have law pathways, guys. That's our most popular law course. Like I was saying earlier, we're the top law school in Ireland if you're interested in coming down to us. So law pathways is interesting because you can do it over 3 or 4 years. Most people do it over the 4 years. So it gives you an option to either do a year of work placement or a year abroad in an English-speaking university. I think it's a fantastic course. I have had friends, and my niece just did it a few years ago, and it's kind of, again, gives you opens your mind to the world of law in the workplace or the going abroad experience. So it's a fantastic course. Then again, guys, you've got law in French there. Again, you're mixing the languages with the law degree. You've law in Irish, and you've law in business. So they're all very interesting degrees. Again, with law, guys, it's the start of a bit of a journey with law, whether you get into go the kind of clinical route and become a solicitor, or you can work in different areas of business, language, etc. So it's a really exciting course, and it's a great opportunity, okay? Let's go on here to the science side of the house, guys. So we've loads of different science courses here, okay? So we have our computer science course here, which is really, really interesting. You kind of start the year off doing computer science or software computer science. Again, I kind of want to go back to our guide and show you some of our options. So a lot of our courses, guys, will have a common year. That means that you'll do a first year that will give you access to loads of different subjects. So we have biological and chemical science there. I want to use it as an example as to why it's really interesting. 2 seconds now. So hopefully you can see this. So biological and chemical science is up here, guys. And I want to go down and show you why it's interesting in UCC. Hopefully, again, in order you can see it. So there's a lot of common years in UCC where you study loads of different things. So biological and chemical sciences, you study your plant biology, biochemistry, biotechnology, chemistry. There's chemistry with forensic science, chemistry with pharmaceutical compounds, microbiology, neuroscience, and physiology. So in that year, you'll study all those things. You'll get like a really good foundation level of all of them, and you'll pick your favorite to be your degree. So once you're finished the 4 years in that course, you'll have your degree in, let's say, neuroscience, for instance. Okay. So in the start of second year, you'll pick which course you want to do. And then if you do the neuroscience, you have a degree in neuroscience. If you do microbiology, you have your degree in microbiology. So you can see here with a lot of the science subjects, a lot of them will have a common year. So using here, we have biological, earth and environmental sciences here in UCC. That's all the natural sciences, like environmental sciences, for instance, you'll do a common year. So having a look at this, we have loads of options with applied plant biology there again. You'll be doing that, ecology and environment biology. You've environmental science, you have geoscience, and you have zoology. Again, in your second year, you'll pick one and you'll get your degree in plant biology, zoology, or environmental science, depending on what you want to do. Okay, so it's something that's quite interesting at UCC. Rightio. So kind of going down the line then, guys, we've got things like chemical sciences there. Actually, we'll put in we've got chemical sciences, we've got mathematical sciences, where you can kind of go off and do financial maths or actuarial sciences or just straight maths, okay? Then you have physics and astrophysics, you have data science and analytics, you have agricultural science there as well. It's a pretty new course in UCC, again, state-of-the-art teachers and infrastructure down here in Cork. You have science education, which is your science teaching. In a nutshell, you'll be teaching 2 science subjects if you go through that pathway. Then you have biomedical science. It's run with both UCC and MTU together. And then you have a nutritional sciences, which is more the kind of personal nutrition side of things, hugely popular. And then you have food science, which is more the industry of food, okay? Then we're looking at engineering. Again, you'll have a common year where you'll study many types of engineering. You'll pick one, you'll have your degree, you'll specialize in that for your degree. Architecture there, again, one with MTU and UCC. There's an amazing building down in the city centre. I know lots of people that have gone through that course and have done like amazing things. I get a question on this all the time, whether you need a portfolio for something like architecture. The answer is no. You just need to hit the points, okay? Radio. Finally, guys, you're probably sick of listening to me by this stage, but we'll go on to medicine and health. So, guys, we've got a lot of courses there in medicine and health. Like I was saying, we've lots of nursing degrees. We are the top nursing school in Ireland. Hugely proud of it. And from knowing the staff in nursing, they're a fantastic bunch of people, and they would really take care of you. So with medicine, guys, I'm not sure if any of you want to do medicine, but you know, it's 5 years long. You need to do your HPAT exam before you get into the course, along with the points requirement. You've dentistry there as well at UCC, always hugely popular. Very little places. There's something like 25 places in dentistry, so it's super competitive. You've pharmacy there as well, always amazingly popular too. Again, quite high points, but again, if you want to do something like this, you'll have to put the head down. There's occupational therapy. It's a fantastic course again. Similar to nursing, there's people there to really take care of you every step of the way. You've speech and language therapy, you have medical science and health sciences, which is kind of the background of kind of the health system. And then you have all the nursing options there. So you've general nursing, and then you have got like a dual degree in nursing there. So you could do children's, that's pediatrics, and general nursing. So that's an integrated degree. So you got to have a degree in two. And then you have mental health nursing there. You have intellectual disability nursing. You have midwifery, and you have graduate entry medicine. So graduate entry medicine is if you maybe studied something like nursing before and thought, oh, I'd love to actually excel and maybe become a doctor one day. Okay. With paramedicine, guys, it's a new course here at UCC. So just to kind of give you a brief overview of it, it'll be 4 years. You'll get loads of clinical training. You'll get a lot of theory training as well, but it's quite a hands-on course. It's 4 years in duration, so it's full-time, and it'll be starting in 2024. So as 5th years, at least you'll get the year to figure out what the points range might be, and that if it be something you might be interested in. Again, it's something I'll say to all students is that you will need to drive an ambulance be able to drive an ambulance and get a C1 driver's license by the end of year 3. That's something to keep in your head, because you'll need your B license first to drive a car, C license to drive an ambulance. It's going to be a fantastic course. There is a lot of excitement about it and a lot of interest in it this year. But if you're interested, come down to us in the open day, because there'll be loads of talks on paramedicine. Okay, so guys, that's the kind of subjects or the program in a nutshell. There's a couple of other bits while we have the time that I'd like to kind of go through. So this is a really handy one for you guys. So we have a program called Nurturing Bright Futures here at UCC. So it'll help you maybe to figure out your 3rd level journey, where the 3rd level's for you. We do things like career clusters. There's different activities that have been produced by guidance counsellors in UCC, and it can help you to figure out what kind of industry you'd like to work in, and then within that industry, what kind of occupation might suit you. Then you're looking at things like the realities of university life, the kind of difference between school and university. So we've loads of resources in that. So it's free for you to use. You can check it out ucc.ie/ it's actually in BF. So you can check it out there. It's just a really, really interesting online course. And I was delighted to kind of help and contribute to this within the job I'm in now. And I think you should check it out. So yeah, there's a QR code there. Again, I'll send you on the slides and you can check it out yourself. Again, there's some great podcasts and student stories. Your Begin, Belong, Become story. That's what we use in UCC as kind of our tagline. We want you to begin and belong and become at UCC. So we have Joan there. So Joan actually would have come into us as a sanctuary scholarship. So she would have been an asylum seeker. She would have gotten funding to come to UCC. She did her degree in neuroscience. She kind of went through her kind of life beginning at UCC, how she became really confident in her intellectual ability in UCC, and how she went on to do a master's and now is doing a PhD in neuroscience. So she's a fantastic example of people who can overcome adversity. Okay. Again, entry requirements, guys, I'm not going to go into them, but have a look at them. These are the entry requirements for this year. So you need your 2 H5s and 4 06 H7s. You need your English and Irish, unless you're exempt in Irish for whatever reason. So you can see maths is required for all except for the arts, Celtic studies and social science and law. Okay. We'll just carry on again. So again, snapshot of where you could study abroad, guys. So I was chatting to you guys about where people go. So you can see here that Alana here, I know her personally, is in Boston. There's Killian in Paris. There's another person in Boston here. There is somebody in Normandy, and there's someone in Korea. So like the sky's the limit on where you can go for your international pathway year abroad, okay? So with student life, guys, student life is hugely important to us. We've won loads of awards for it. We love our campus, we love our students, and we love our staff, okay? In terms of our societies, guys, I was kind of chatting to you about that, and like I probably won't go into it a little bit more again, but it's just we've won, like, the student societies have won numerous awards throughout the years, and you can be part of that as well if you come to us. In terms of the clubs and socks, guys, I was telling you about like things like trampolining, there's archery, athletics, aikido. So as part of your fees in UCC, you get free access to the Martyrdike Gym, which is a kind of across from campus. It has state-of-the-art facilities, you have a great track, there's a new weights gym, amazing pool, so it's something to kind of keep in mind, and it's just huge and massive, and you'll always get a spot in there, okay? These are some of our UCC sports people, just to name a few. We have Paul O'Donovan and Fintan McCarthy, who won gold at the Olympic Championships and will be going into the Olympics this year in Paris. We have Mary Fitz, she's a Paralympian. She would have won bronze for the shot put, and there's some other amazing folks in UCC. Volunteering, hugely important, guys. I mentioned Goshka, you can continue on with your Goshka awards, go silver, go gold. Sky's the limit with Goshka in UCC. We have a society for it. You can join, get involved with the community, and keep going, okay? Bystander intervention, guys, is a huge emphasis on standing up for people who have gone through sexual misconduct or violence. We don't want you to kind of stand on and kind of be the bystander. We want you to stand up for people. So there's different trainings that you will be involved in when you hit UCC, but you can also do it in secondary school. So your supports guide, in a nutshell, this is quite important. So with health and well-being, there's people to help you with counselling, the chaplains there, there's student health, then there's your students union, who are your they are your DAL, they are your representatives. Then you have the career services. The skill centre, I'd like to point out, is fantastic if you're finding academia kind of hard, the transition from school to college. The skill centre is there to help you out with things like how to write an essay, how to reference, all of those things that you might kind of find a little bit difficult, okay? You have your library, you have our disability support service, which is Access UCC. We've loads of the IT services there for you, and then all the way down to like your family and friends are always there for you. We have a great website on keeping well and digital supports, okay? I'm going to go down the line here a little bit because we only have a couple of minutes left, and I just want to highlight that we have some bits coming up in the next couple of days, or the next couple of months, sorry. We've a live Q&A if you're interested in how the CAO works, and if you have any questions for UCC. Maybe it's a little bit early for you and you can do it next year. We always hold them in January, May of each year. But the open day, guys, keep it in your head, keep the date in your head. So it's going to be Saturday, October 12th, okay? And it'll be on from about 10 a.m. and you can come down to us at your ease. Look at all of the courses. There'll be talks on every single course at UCC. It's a really great buzz and a great day out. So we'd love to see you down here if you can make it at all, okay? And finally, there's tours available in UCC as well all the time. Whether you want to come with some of your pals or your family, they're going to be on Wednesdays and Saturdays at 3 p.m. So if you really, really are interested in UCC and what we have to offer, come down to us.